All right. Episode 16.
Yep.
Let's do it.
Let's get
So,
it.
when we started that had the original idea for the follow-up podcast, one of my big things was I wanted to give our viewers new episodes, new podcasts to listen to. I didn't want I One thing I didn't like was having to look through podcast lists to find a new one, right? And so one of the things I wanted us to be able to do is provide our viewers with new podcasts. And today we have the Darknet Diaries podcast. And yes, it sounds like exactly what it is. Podcast that with a nerdy host, and he's really good at telling stories about darknet events and not necessarily darknet, but just stuff happens on the internet, right? Um, and today's episode is 152 on Darknet Diaries, and it's called Stack Attack. Um, just initially, it is about a developer who worked for the Pump Fund company, and it's a very interesting story from like every perspective. Like the developer he's just a character himself. The company he works for is just a character himself. Like this story is going to have a movie about it in 10 years. Like there's going to be a movie just like Wolf of Wall Street, and it's going to be this pump fund company. What do you think, Sterling?
Uh, So, are we doing spoilers here?
Yeah, just give him a little heads up,
Okay,
but
spoiler alert. Because it's going to be hard to talk about this without talking about the actual event. Where'd you find this? That was
so
my
I
first question.
listened to this guy's podcast, The Darknet Diaries, probably like 2 or 3 years ago. It was when I started working out of college. It was one of those episodes where I got tired of listening to podcasters talk about cold plunge, health insurance companies, and all like the mainstream podcast stuff. I would just listen to a Darknet Diaries episode because I just wanted something different. And so it's like every other month, maybe I'll tune in. But this was the first one that I was like, that was really good. Um,
Is it like a software thing?
I don't know. I've never met anyone else who's listened to it. So it just came up on my Spotify a long time ago, and it
Really?
stayed recommending them every once in a while.
It's one of those things where it's like these are your people, and you're kind of embarrassed by it. Like the software, the coders, they all got kind of lumped into one group, and you're like, "Oh, I hate that you couldn't represent me." This guy
Yeah.
was a character.
hmm the
So,
host or the guest?
well, the guest mainly. I mean, the host was I would describe him as like a modern internet journalist. If that makes
Uh-huh.
sense. Um, he's trying to do his journalist thing, and he did a decent job. He tried to make the protagonist, or I think that's the wrong word. I don't even know if he was a protagonist. He was trying to make the guy the story was about, even though he was kind of trashing him,
Yeah.
like feel
Um,
comfortable. Like he did a good job balancing that.
yeah. I mean, the guy the guest they have on was his name was Jarett, and he is like a crypto developer. He's worked on like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and he's kind of I don't want to say it because he might come after me, but he's kind of a crazy guy. Like you you never know. It doesn't seem like you would ever know what to expect out of him. Like he's had a crazy childhood with just probably some traumatic events. I would consider traumatic events. Uh, and he's a crazy guy, and I think it paints a good picture about who's developing these crypto technologies, technologies, and kind of. I think if you're going to invest in anything, even though the once he got to it, like the pump and dump stuff, the meme coins, like that's just gambling, right? This is a form of gambling. Um,
It's an interesting form. So the his story is he saw the FTX scam, he blew the whistle, and no one listened.
yeah,
So the
uh,
premise of his story was now he's at this new job. Life's gone on. He's at this pump fund,
Yep.
which is a wild website. I looked at it. It is. I don't even like. It takes you a minute to figure out even what's going on. Where you can make a coin, you can try to convince people to put money into it, and then dump it before they dump it. Right? It's like a
Did you see that?
community gambling.
Did you see the video, the first one that went viral? It was this kid from the UK, it looked like, who created a coin, pumped and dumped, and it like went viral. And that was my first exposure to Pump Fund. He made like 30K on a live stream. Have you seen it?
I heard about it today. I have not seen it.
Let me share this. Chrome tab. Oh, here, let me get it pulled up. Do you want to talk about something else?
Well, so I thought the most interesting part of this story was the ethical part.
Mhm.
And what the journalist slowly like kind of lays out for you is all the ways that people push ethics to the boundaries to pump and dump their coins. He rattled off 10 examples at the end, which was crazy. One person was like, buy my coin or I'm going to shoot my grandma. Right.
Yeah.
And so there's these weird, like, is that legal? Is that illegal? Was he really going to shoot his grandma? Is that hyperbole? Is that comedy?
Well,
Are you allowed to like do these? Are these like business transactions that are governed by the SEC? It gets weird.
yeah, and that's like it's like the Wild West. That's what I kept on coming back to. It's like these people are living in a area with no regulations.
Because the regulations haven't moved out west yet, right? I
Hmm.
mean, there's no normal cop that even knows what pump fund is, that can stop this. There's no detective. I mean, I'm sure there are, but let's see this.
Oh, holy fuck! Holy fuck!
You full clip.
Holy fuck! Thanks for the 20 bandos. Oh,
Yeah, he did.
yo, 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 what the fuck? What the fuck?
The double bird is crazy.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't realize he cussed so much, but I mean, and that was my first exposure to it, and that's what I had in mind, like listening to it. I was like, oh yeah, I've seen this, and I think even like the Hawk Tuah coin was on this, and
Where's that kid's parents?
I don't know, they're probably not
Like,
too bad. I mean, it's legal to pump and dump, I think, on the website. Like,
well, I would say the legality hasn't been determined yet, is what I would classify it as.
I
But
think
like,
if you
legal or not,
it depends
I
how you
would.
promote it, right?
If Max came home with 20K from pumping and dumping a coin, I wouldn't be happy. I wouldn't be. There's
I mean,
no
I'm
way
glad
that
you
kid
live
becomes
streamed
a
it because I'm
normal.
like, dude, that's not smart. Because what followed this is like the internet attacked this kid, and they like found like who he was and his family and stuff. That,
Oh
that
no!
that's the that's why you wouldn't want to live stream it and do it. That's like the
Well, and
about it.
plus that kid's now a gambling addict. There's no other future other than that kid is a raging gambling.
Um, yeah, dude, it's the Wild West out there in the pump fund.
So to give you a little understanding of this company Pump Fund, the website looks like 4chan on purpose, right? 4chan is supposed to be like the gutter of the internet. Um, and they he described it like they don't have a terms and conditions, even though when I got on it today, when I checked it out, they have it now. But they're like they tweeted out something when porn started becoming a thing, like the way you got people to go into your coin was to, do porn activities. on it. Um, they sent a tweet that said, "We in no way endorse pornography on our site. We are a family-friendly site. If you find pornography, please send it to this intern," which which is a great troll line. But that's kind of the guys we're talking about here.
Yeah. And like the point they're like the host, he was like, and no one knows like obviously it sounds like a joke, right? But like you can't really say like it's not clear whether or not they're being serious or not, but
Right.
it seems
And,
like they're
and so
trolling.
this is like how he sets up the story is he paints a picture of this guy working for this company that you're not supposed to root for, and then he robs them blind
Mhm.
and does this kind of weird Robin Hood thing where he doesn't take the money for himself, he just gives it to Solana creators out there.
So I had an interesting take on that because it, I would have a hard time believing that he truly was that like vigilante who gave it all back to these like projects. Like I'm like he was probably developing these other projects. It was like I'm gonna donate the money to this Solana project as he's like developing it, right? I don't know. I'd have to look into it, but like it seemed like I would be. I don't know. Maybe he was the vigilante that did the right thing, but I don't know if I'd trust him at face
I
value.
don't
That
think vigilante. I often am skeptical when people make the insanity claim. I think this guy has some true like mental issues.
yeah, they talked about a moment. So like when he exposed Pump Fund, he well, and then the other thing of why he's a developer per Pump Fund and found a vulnerability in the system. He's a developer. Like he should fix it, right? I think he said he raised the warning to the like CEO or something. But like I don't think if you're a developer, you go scam your own product you're developing on. Like that's like not a good thing. But I mean, I don't know. It's a very I think you have to really think about his point of view and his perspective and really second guess what he's saying. But it's fun to listen to. It's
Yeah.
like a movie. Did you ever watch the TV series Mr. Robot?
Yes, for season one, and I for some reason I didn't pick it back up as season two, but I loved it.
I think I watched season one too only. But it's like that. I when I was listening to this podcast, like this is what that's what I thought about was that TV series. It just had the same vibe.
So the whole insanity thing, like the reason I don't like it is if you're gonna plead insanity, you got to be taken outside of society, right? You can't one have lesser punishment but still be part of society. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't compute for me. So I did not end up rooting for him. I'm sorry that he could. It's like a hardware problem, right? Most likely that he's insane, but you can't have those people in society and expect normal things to happen.
Well, it's really tough when they're like super smart like this, right? And then they're like powerful.
Yeah.
He really reminded me of SBF. Like that, whenever you hear stories about SBF and those guys like on speed doing all these crazy stuff at like a high level and with all this stakes and money and stuff, it's like he's definitely the guy who's in the room as well.
Yeah. They had very similar starting conditions. They just found themselves in different rooms. So the interesting thing for me was this one I classified as a crime because he was on the inside of the company and he did something against the company that rerouted the Solana where they didn't want to route it. But let's pretend he was outside of the company and he managed to do this. Do you think that's illegal? Like if you find an exploit in the Visa and you can run it as a customer and pocket $30 million, is that illegal? Like these exploits?
Um, like whether they should or shouldn't, know, but I'm sure to use those services to uh, exploit them, you would have to sign like the terms and agreements. I'm sure it says like there's a agreement in there like even if you find an exploit like you're not allowed to act on it, you have to like inform us or something. I bet there's a legal document that you sign to use those services, um, as long as the exploit is within the service, which is what it seemed like the pump fund exploit was.
Like those guys that the first guys to like automate stock buying and selling. And they essentially they got a supercomputer. They parked it right next to the New York Stock Exchange, and they were just faster than everybody. So when they could see something was about to change, they'd buy it before it changed. They know, like essentially knowing the future at this very small level, and made millions of billions. I kind of feel like that. Like the libertarian side of me says that should be legal, and that's free market figuring out what's okay, what's not.
I agree. I would say I'm agreeing with you on that. Like it sucks, but like make a better product.
That's right.
Like that's what fuels innovation, right? Like if you weren't allowed to exploit and you're going to go to jail for finding these exploits, there'd be less people finding them and therefore worse products. Like that would be the free market argument to that, right?
Yeah.
And I think that that's the point of view I have. Don't put a product out there if it's not secure. And it's gonna bite me in the butt one day. Someone's gonna roll this clip and I'm gonna have an app built and it's gonna have a in it. And it's gonna be like, well, you said just let the exploits run.
Yeah. What else you got?
um so I looked into the pump fund. And so basically, the exploit happened once a coin got big enough, it was then like transferred to the DEX, which is like a bigger coin exchange market. And so these are the top 12 coins that came out of Pump Fund. The first one is this Elon coin, and then at number three is Baron. Number four is Mr. Beast. Number six is Mega, Make Europe Great Again. And it's interesting. Um, and then I looked at the market cap for this Elon coin. What do you think it is? I don't know if you saw it. I hope you didn't.
All right. 12 million.
$600 million is in
Oh
this
my
is in this meme
goodness.
coin now.
Was that at its peak or is that current?
That's its 24-hour volume.
Whoa.
But I guess liquidity is more what we're probably thinking of, which is like I don't know. No, liquidity is how much is on the market to sell, I think. Something
Right.
like but yeah. It's like these are kind of like no joke. They're getting into like some serious territories.
That's
Um
wild.
Elon is the number one coin. It's there.
Bird coin.
The fart coin. I shouldn't have showed you it. Do you know? Did you see the volume of it?
I'm looking at it now.
$200 million volume in
That's
fart.
nuts. That's
It's
nuts.
just. I mean, this is why people get into it. It's because it's so entertaining. It's such a good laugh. I think. And Fightcoin is at $89 million. It's a picture of Donald Trump with his fist up.
Fight. Oh my
Literally
gosh.
no functionality on these coins at all, other than just pure entertainment. And they have this much money into them. Mr. Beast Coin has $26 million. I don't think he has any affiliation with it. Daddy Tate
Duh.
Coin has $44 million.
Daddy.
It's just I don't know if you're new to this area, it's just very interesting to see um how big it is. Like it's not a joke. It's a joke that's not a joke anymore. It's like getting into serious territory, which is crazy. Um, but yeah,
So
I
like
like
Elon, you do the math. We have 7 billion. He has 400 million in his, not his, in the Elon coin. That's a huge chunk of the population putting in a dollar.
yeah, that's it would have to be. I mean, United States is what 300 million.
Dang.
Yeah.
Like
So
who? Like I'm picturing these like bottom dwellers of the internet doing it. They don't have that much money. Like, how does this? Maybe they do. Maybe I'm wrong. Are they putting their
yeah,
life
I don't know.
savings in there?
There's a lot of there's a lot of developers that don't have much of a family or it's just kind of sit on the internet, but have these big IT or development jobs and have a lot of money and
They
don't
drop
have to
500K into
do.
Elon coin.
I
That's
guess.
crazy. That doesn't add up to me. But
Yeah.
that's the scale of the internet for you, right? I mean, these man, all these things are worldwide. So a tiny fraction of the world doing one thing is just huge.
Yeah, so I don't know. I thought it was a fun listen. It's very different. It's non-informational, so it's like a good change up, I thought. Um I'm interested what your rating is. I have my rating written down, so it's not going to change from what you say.
42.
Mm. Yeah, I was at a 60. Um and not cuz like I don't know, it was a good listen, but it's not my cup of tea, but for not being my cup of tea, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it had about 30 minutes in, you're like, why am I listening to this? It got better at the end, but I don't know. I think I've had enough of like autistic geeks in my life, you know, like Rala, like you've seen it. I know what these guys do. They're it's like just a extreme story of dorm life at Rala. That's what that's what I just saw or listened to.
Too
So
many flashbacks when you're listening to it.
a little bit like there's some like strange, very antisocial, and not just like not being able to talk to people, just like they don't act like the rest of society acts, but they're intelligent. So I don't know how they got there at Raleigh. There was millions of them, not millions, but you get my point. They were everywhere.
Yeah. That's all I got on the notes for it. Uh, you have anything else you want to add?
I don't,
I was kind of guess. I mean, the podcast itself was only 40 minutes, so I wasn't expecting this one to be super long one. But
dude.
um,
Ow,
did you just get shot?
Cal, give me the gun. Cal, go. Oh my gosh,
Really just got shot with a Nerf gun in the eye.
I'm six
Anyway,
inches away.
let's wrap then. Yeah, I thought it's a change up, and I want to, you know, give our listeners different podcasts to listen to, different flavors. That's one of the things I want us to provide. So even if it's not our favorite one, some people may love it. So I think we gave a
That's
pretty
right.
good perspective about it, and it's a pretty interesting story. I think that's a wrap then.